Arsenal take on Crystal Palace, both at home in the Carabao Cup and away from home in the Premier League. So today I'm going to be doing a double preview talking about both fixtures together. The cup game is tomorrow. I'm very excited for it. Bring on the Carabao Cup. And then we're hoping to get back on the winners list in the Premier League after a disappointing draw at home to Everton. So let's get into it. Obviously it was very deflating coming off that performance against Everton. I mean, so much possession, but we really didn't look like scoring. We weren't really creating anything at all. So we are going to be hoping to get two results. And I've seen a lot of people asking, if Arsenal were to maybe drop one of these games, just which one would you rather drop? I would be absolutely devastated if we dropped either of those games. We have to win both of them. I understand why fans would want to prioritize the Prem just because it's the bigger trophy. No one really cares a whole lot about the Carabao Cup. And look, I do kind of fall into the same boat where I don't think that a Carabao Cup is season defining. I don't think winning a Carabao Cup will impact how I view the season if that's the only trophy we win. However, it's still a trophy. And when you've got a home tie in a cup against, with all due respect, a lower ranked sort of team, you need to be winning that game. If we win this game, we are through. What is going on with the lighting? If we win this game, we are through to a Carabao Cup semi-final. That's huge. If we get 4 more victories in the Carabao Cup, we win the whole thing. We only need to win 4 more games. So I think we definitely do need to put our focus on this game. However, I don't know what is going on with this lighting. Jesus Christ. What the hell? However, a result in the league is just as important because, look, I'm starting to lose hope on the league, but we still got to stay in it. We still got to be picking up points because there's at least a slim window that Liverpool or Chelsea could drop points. Whether or not you think we're in the title race at the moment or not, it's irrelevant. We still need to win these games because in 2-3 months, you don't know what it's going to look like. So we can't lose focus. We got to get back at where we're unbeaten in 6 Premier League games, I think it is. Whilst though we have some not ideal results in there, we do need to stay focused. First, let's talk about the head-to-head record between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. We actually have a very good record against them in recent years. Obviously, last season, we didn't concede a single goal to them. We got a 1-0 win away at Selhurst Park, which was our second game of the season, I believe, when Tomiyasu got sent off. It was so dumb. I do not know why he got that red card. And then we responded by beating them at 5-0 at the Emirates. It was our first game back after the winter break when we were in absolutely terrible form. We'd lost 3 games in a row, and that kick-started our massive unbeaten run when, for 6 months we only dropped, 5 points in the league. The season before that, we, again, had a very, very comfortable sort of running against them, beat them 2-0 away from home, which was our first game of the season. So we play Palace at Selhurst Park relatively early, and then and then at home we beat them 4-1. I remember Saka scored a brace in that game. So yeah, last 2 seasons, incredible run ever since that infamous 3-0 loss at Selhurst Park from 21-22. Other than that game, we have a very, very good recent record against Crystal Palace. 11 goals scored, only 1 conceded. As for current form, Arsenal have been a little bit hit or miss lately. 3 wins and 2 draws, coming off our recent draw to Everton at the Emirates, which was a very unfortunate result. In the Premier League, where 2 games without a win following our 3 Premier League wins in a row against Manchester United and West Ham. So yeah, we clearly need a bounce back in the Premier League. But overall, our performances haven't been terrible. We've had a couple of, unfortunate results here and there. But really, since the winter break, other than those 2 very, shitty results, we have been quite good. So I'm hoping that we can get a bounce back in this game. Odds are we're probably not going to lose to Palace, just based on our current form, especially we just haven't lost a single home game in all competitions this season. However, if we take a look at Palace's form, they are also unbeaten in their last 5, with a very big away win against their rivals last weekend. A draw to Manchester City, which is a very good result. Even though they're at home, Man City, I know they're not in amazing form, but it's still a good result. A win away at Ipswich, a draw at home to Newcastle, which they should have won. Newcastle didn't even have a single shot on target, and they managed to get a result from that game. And then a draw away at Villa Park. So really on form, Palace have been very good. They're quite low in the table. If I have a look on here to check where Palace are in the Premier League at the moment, we are third, as we know, 6 points off first place Liverpool, 4 points off Chelsea. Palace are in 15th, which is quite low, but they have been in very good form. I could see them potentially going further up the table. So this is by no means going to be a walk in the park. Who knows? I might be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we get 2 comfortable wins. But yeah, both Arsenal and Palace unbeaten in 5 games. We're both in pretty good form. Obviously, we'd be more disappointed because we'd be hoping to get more wins in there. But Palace, unbeaten in 5, considering that they only had 1 win before that Ipswich game all season, they're going to be pretty happy with that. Let's talk about what this Carabao Cup game means. Look, as I said before, have never been one that particularly rates the Carabao Cup. It's not my favourite trophy in the world. I haven't actually seen us win it, and there are a lot of Arsenal fans that haven't seen us win it. We haven't won the Carabao Cup since 1993. So it would be pretty nice to go grab that trophy, because at the end of the day, it is a trophy. However, this isn't season defining. Winning the Carabao Cup doesn't mean that we've had a successful season, because whilst we are trophyless in 4 consecutive seasons, we're aiming for big stuff. We're in a Premier League title race. We're looking to make deep runs in the Champions League. Hopefully win our 15th FA Cup. Oh my god, this lighting. Why does it keep doing this? I do not understand. But yeah, this winning a Carabao Cup doesn't mean that we've had a successful season. But we need to do it, because at the end of the day, it is still a trophy. And with these home ties against Palace, we have to win. There's no excuses if we lose this game. Look, we have some defensive injuries. I'll talk about the injury concerns later. But really, we've got almost a full-strength team. And I think that Palace are probably going to make a few changes, because they're going to go into this game thinking that they have very slim chances to win. It's away from home against a good side. And to make a quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup is pretty good, especially when they've still got the FA Cup to play for as well. I'm not sure who they have in the FA Cup. I'm going to have to double check. So yeah, I actually think they're going to go for a bit of a rotated squad. I think personally we should go for full strength. If there are a couple players that might sort of be competing for spots, then I would understand playing one of them in one game and the other one in another game. To sort of rotate a little bit would be okay, but I'm expecting us to go for a relatively full strength team. like an 11 that we'd be comfortable fielding in the Premier League, we should field in the Carabao Cup. I feel like we shouldn't make too many changes through both games. If there's, fitness stuff, like maybe if he wants to start Jorginho in one game and not the other one, or, I'm not too sure what the lineups are going to look like. But I do think that we should go for a relatively full strength team because, look, the teams left, Tottenham and Manchester United, one of those teams are going to get knocked out. So really, the only other big team that's left after them is Liverpool. Liverpool play Southampton. You'd expect them to win that game. Newcastle play Brentford. It's at St. James's Park. Brentford's away form is terrible. You'd expect Newcastle to win that game. And then Tottenham United, it's a bit of a toss-up. On form, both teams haven't been great. Both coming off big wins. So really that leaves, what? Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Man United. When there's 4 teams left, you have no idea who's going to win it. Anyone can win it. So I just think not an easy, because no game's easy when you're coming up against a Premier League quality side, but with, a very, very winnable home tie in a season where we've actually gotten very lucky when it comes to Carabao Cup ties. This is the first Premier League team we've played, and we're 1 win away from a semi-final. So I think that this is a must-win game. Because even though the Carabao Cup doesn't mean much, let's just go win it for God's sake. Then you obviously have the Premier League, which has very big implications. We have dropped points in back-to-back Premier League games, which is unacceptable. It really is. We cannot be doing this when we're already chasing. Look, if we were in Liverpool's situation, Liverpool have also dropped points in back-to-back Premier League games. The draw away at Newcastle, and then the draw at home to Fulham. But they're going to be more content. Firstly, because they've got a game in hand, and also because they're at the top. They're 2 points ahead of Chelsea with a game in hand. If they beat Everton, you'd expect that that's 5. And then they could be 9 points clear of us. Liverpool have room for slip-up, especially because I actually think that those 2 points are better for them, considering that away at St. James's Park is the toughest fixture out of all of them, like as in all of the fixtures that we're talking about with Arsenal and Liverpool. And then the game against Fulham, they honestly, they fought very well to get that point, considering they were 1-0 down with 10 men. So look, I just think that we have to go on a run. I was saying this at the the international break, that we needed to go on a winning run. We won a few games in a row, but then we've dropped more points. I said this before, there's no room for error. As much as I really do think that we're not going to win this league, and I hate to say it, but it's looking out of reach at the moment. We just can't lose concentration because anything can happen. We're not even halfway through the season. Anything can happen. We need to keep winning games. If Liverpool and Chelsea have a bad run of form, we need to be there. We can't be like Man City, who are even worse. They're in an even worse position than us. If they do eventually slip up, we can't sit there and think, if we took that Palace game more seriously, maybe we would be able to capitalize off this. We got to stay behind them. We got to try as hard as we can to decrease that gap, because a bad run of form, you never know what is going to happen. As for the 11, I don't know. I feel like Arteta's probably going to go with 2 different teams. He might make 2 or 3 changes between the 2 games, but I think we should go relatively full strength. Obviously, David Raya can stay in goal. There's not really a point in playing Neto. I think that you may as well just keep Raya in the team. Back 4, it's tough not having Calafiori in the side. I honestly reckon MLS was good enough to keep his place for at least one of these games. Apparently Calafiori is out injured for the cup tie. I don't know about the league game. So maybe start Lewis Skelly in the cup, especially because it's at home. He's going to have the fans behind him. May as well start him in the home game. And then if Calafiori's back fit, and maybe Lewis Skelly doesn't have the greatest game in the cup, or you don't want to start him 4 games in a row, then bring Calafiori back. And then the rest of the defense I think should be the same. Timber should stay at right back. I don't know why Arteta moved him to left back for when he made all of his changes. Then Saliba and Gabriel keep their places. Moving on into midfield, I think Erdegaard's a shoo-in for both games. Maybe if you want to rest him for the cup game, start Nwaneri. Maybe. But again, I feel like we should go pretty full strength. And then I think maybe start Partey in the 6 for one of the games and then Jorginho in the 6 for the other one. Or start Partey in the 6 for both. That's if he wants to give Partey a rest. And then start Rice at left centre mid for both games. I just don't think Merino deserves to start. As much as I think Rice is better as a 6 than he is as an 8, I feel like, honestly, having Merino in the 8 is cancerous. He did nothing against Forest. And defensively, I think Rice is good enough. He can do a job in the 8. We just don't have anyone better at the moment. So I'll go Partey 6, Rice 8, maybe Jorginho 6 for one of the games if he wants to rest Partey. And then for the attack, Saka should start both games on the right. We just can't risk it. If we find ourselves 2-3-0 up at a good point in the Palace game, in the home game, then just hook him. I think we should rest him. We should try and get him off the pitch as soon as possible. And then striker and left wing, our two worst positions right now. I think we should do is we should start Martinelli in one of the games, start Sterling in the other games, and then start Jesus in one of the games and Havertz in the other one. Preferably start Havertz in the cup game because he's terrible away from home, but he's actually good at the Emirates. Havertz is actually this season, I think he scored 2 goals in all competitions away from the Emirates, which I think was the Sporting goal and the West Ham goal that he scored, which were actually both within a week of each other. Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure all of his other goals this season were in all comps were at the Emirates, unless I've forgotten one. So start him at the Emirates, and then if he has a bad game, then start Jesus for him. Not because I think Jesus is a better player than Havertz, but just because Havertz has really not impressed me. Neither is Jesus. The fact that we're deciding between Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz is very unfortunate because neither of them have been on it as of late. And then the reason I'm picking Sterling is because he just give him a go. Martinelli and Trossard have both been in shit form. Sterling's started every game in the cup so far, so you may as well start him at the Emirates and then start Martinelli in the league. That's what I think we should do. Maybe we see a slightly rotated squad in the cup game. Depends on what Arteta thinks Palace are going to do. Because if Palace rotate their squad, then maybe that gives us a chance to rotate ours. Let me know in the comments below what you're feeling for this game. In terms of prediction, I'm going to go for 2 wins. I am. I'm going to go for 3-1 in the cup. I just think it'll be a relatively comfortable performance, and then maybe we concede some scrappy goal. And then in the league, we need another away clean sheet badly. Away from home, we just have not been keeping clean sheets this season, which I cannot believe I'm saying, because last season, we were not conceding any goals away from home. Following the winter break, I think we conceded 5 away goals. 2 to Tottenham, 1 to Forest, and I'm pretty sure there were 2 more. Or was it only... Maybe it was only 3 or 2. I can't think of any more. That's insane, by the way. Whereas this season, we have kept 1 away clean sheet since that Tottenham game. And that was away at Preston, so I don't even know if that counts. So yeah, we really do need another away. Really do need a clean sheet away from home. We haven't conceded at Selhurst Park in 2 seasons. So hopefully we can make it 3. 3-1 at the Emirates. 2-0 at Selhurst Park. Hopefully, these are correct. We need to win both these games. And then we have Ipswich, I believe, in the league following that. And I think, damn, is this the first time that we don't have like a midweek game since the international break? I think fixtures are coming at us fast. We just got to stay focused. We got to win as many games as we can. And look, if we can by Christmas book our way to a Carabao Cup semi-final and maybe close the gap on Liverpool just a little bit, hopefully they drop some more points. I think they play Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken, for their next game. So yeah, hopefully we win these games. I'm going to stop waffling now because I've just been yapping for too long. Let's get 2 wins. Come on, you Gunners.